So another person that contributed on the album was your sister, Emily Jamerson.
She
How
did,
was
yeah.
that working with Emily, who was
It was,
also, go ahead.
yeah, it was the songs that we chose for her to sing on. It was, it was really intentional of I feel like so much of our life is we've experienced, we just had the same experience, at least on a family level, and um, it was one to just, her talent is so elite, and to just continue to see her grow in those kind of settings. And then the songs in particular was like about missing family that had passed on, and some like divorce stuff with my parents. It was just like good for us to go through that together, and
Nice.
to like feel like we got to have that sort of cathartic release together. And um she's just been there, like I said, from the get-go. I don't remember my life without her. And um it's
Don't make
just,
me cry.
yeah, well, it's just such a special thing. And so for us to just continue to just to have that behind the songs and the performance, that to me is like the thing that I'll hold on to the most, is
Yeah.
like having those experiences together. And um, I really try to just be as present and as intentional through the process as I can, because I just feel like that's all you really have. We release the record, and it kind of, the world does with it what it will do with it. But um, yeah, just to have her with me through that is just it's like my grandmother was like really into home videos, and like to always have that to go back and look at. It's like to just have this moment of time that we shared. And it's just special. So
That's
That's
awesome.
really sweet. That is really sweet. So, with all this talent between you and Emily, what on earth was the Jamerson house like when you two were growing up?
well, we also have two other brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, we have two other brothers, and we're not even like we have a middle brother, Clay, who is a school teacher, but he's like the most showman of all of us. Um,
Wow.
and then a younger brother, Joseph, who is also a singer. So it was pretty wild growing up. You know, everybody doing different things, and strong personalities. And my sister being the only girl of three, or three boys, one girl. I feel
Right.
like she tried to help my mom be mom too. And but we were all really into sports and just really really busy. So I think that kind of was a choice my parents made to kind of keep us all.
Out of trouble.
keep
Yeah,
keep from
yeah,
killing each other.
yeah. Um, we were in church a lot, spent a lot of time there. Always at the ball field. My dad was a coach. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Um,
How
Especially as the oldest. So
how much of the household was circulated around music? I know you were busy with sports and whatnot, but for that much talent to come out of that house, I would think it was pretty prevalent.
um, yeah, I mean that's what church was. We my mom was the choir director, like the children's choir director. So we were singing every week at church. Um, Piano lessons, which I really fought when I was younger. And my grandmother, in particular, on my dad's side, they would have like these gatherings, like just have friends over, and they would play music for like 4 or 5 hours at a time. And those were some of the earliest memories. Were just being in the living room around this nonstop, just like concert, social, and just the intertwinings of family and friends and music. And I feel like most of my life I was spending trying to like excavate those kind of things from myself, like having those experiences early on, and then, you know, you're, like I said, you're singing in church, doing all these things, but like just figuring out what it means to you and how you can articulate that in your own way. You know, it, even though I was in sports, I was always just working at that and trying to figure that out. And I remember one time it was like the Eagles, like Hell Freezes Over, like VH1 or MTV special, where they're all like lined up.
Yep.
On the chairs, and I remember like having a reenactment of that in our living room. Like my sister had the long hair, so she looked like Timothy B. Schmidt, and had like the cowlick like a Henley, and oh yeah, I mean, and we would like you know, had like video cameras, and I found recently some videos of me like playing Sweet Home Alabama on a electric guitar, and you know, just trying to figure it out. And it was just,
I love that.
Yeah, it was my sister, she always talks about how the summer that I like really started playing acoustic guitar, I was like trying to learn It's Your Love by Tim McGraw, and she just got so sick of that song because I was like, singing it to girls at school and like over the phone, and
Nice.
she's just like,
oh my goodness, that's great.
That's fun. Now,
Well,
I understand most of the album was written back home there in Prestonsburg in Eastern Kentucky. We love on this show to kind of celebrate the impact of place on the music we love. You've already talked about, I think, some of the, you know, the family, you know, traumas and emotions that you have to deal with that went into the music. But how do you think Prestonsburg and Floyd County and Eastern Kentucky come to bear on influencing the music on this album?
Well, you know, this area is really steeped in traditional music and like bluegrass style instrumentation. Like I'll say old time too. That was a choice, like with Rachel producing it, that she's like really steeped in old time, and I think musically, like that's like what you'll see on, like there's a lot of like fiddle and banjo instrumentation and just kind of bare. But I also think just living here, it's so isolated from so much like distraction, really. I think that's like the big thing for me living here, is that I can go out into the world and I perform, and you know, you experience the busyness, and then you come back here and it's like you really kind of, I have to sit with myself, you know, like there's a lot, I can just focus on what I'm doing here. And I think that's probably the subtle aspect of it here, is just like I'm in the woods and kind of in contemplation here, and there's not like, you know, I have family here, but they're all busy, you know, in their own lives too, and you know, everybody's busy, you know, so like my work is my work, and this is, you know, diving through this stuff was my work. So yeah, I just think that living here, it allowed me to kind of block out the noise of the world and really be able to listen to what my heart was telling me. So
Nice.
but instrumentally, you know, it's just it's the country music highway that I live off of, and there's just so much. It's like, I don't, coming from a sports background, I don't think that like that music is competitive in that way, but to have so many people that have made such a large impact musically from this area, like it does like it like does motivate me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's also this thing where there's so many people that have like kind of broken through the glass ceiling that is typical for this area, like in terms of socially what people say about living here and what the you got to go to Nashville or you have to do these other things, and it's just not the case anymore.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It's that's a big answer, I guess. But
well, it's an appropriate answer too, and
Absolutely.
I think it's awesome to know, and I don't know if you notice or how you feel. I'm sure you see them, but I happen to know that every time when I go home to Pikeville and I'm coming back and I cross the Pike-Floyd County line, there's the road sign. Country Music Highway, Dwight Yoakam, Sunday Best.
Yeah.
And that's that you've made an impact already